Hi guys, Mindy here. Today I want to share my experience as an ENFP. I want to open up and share how I have experienced the last couple of days with emotional turbulence, and I want to share a lot about the experience of being an ENFP, experience of changing constantly and feeling, life kind of moving through us. That can be overwhelming. So that's what I want to talk about today. Hello, remember that you can have one-on-one sessions with me. I would love to help you. And also you can treat me to coffees. You can check all of the information down below. Follow me on Instagram at mindimalist. I'm right now in Costa Rica, by the way, you can see. And I spent 15 days or 16 days with friends all the time, continuously. We were going to places, or we sat in one place and we were just there hanging out, but I was with people. And I had a great time. I loved it, but there is a moment when you feel like you need to go inwards and to be with yourself. I felt somehow the last couple of days this restlessness. I felt restless because it felt somehow as if my energy was all around and it was not concentrated in one place. And that's what I feel like today, finally, after 3 days of being on my own. Well, actually yesterday I had some breaks with people, but I mean, most of the time I'm alone, that I feel like my energy has calmed down and I feel like more focused, and I even had the inspiration and the motivation to come and make this video. And I think this is the whole thing of the ENFP. I think that many of you ENFPs can feel somehow identified with what I'm saying. I would like to read your comments with what I'm gonna say. I want to know if you also feel that way or experience things that way. So now I feel like I have the energy that that alone time is so needed for me, and I'm sure for many ENFPs, because there is a moment when we are surrounded by people that we feel that we want to be there and we want to share, blah blah blah, and we have planned this. And I deeply love my friends and I'm so grateful for all of the time that we spend together. And it has nothing to do with them. It has to do with the fact that my energy somehow feels like it's just bomb. It doesn't, I cannot use my energy for my inner processes. The inner processes, meaning I reflect all the time on, how how I've done things in the past, how I want to change things in the future. I'm constantly, having realizations of myself, of things I've done, or I am reframing how I want to live life. And it feels that when I'm too much with people, and even if I'm not interacting with them, but if they're in my surrounding, it feels like there is not enough room for that to happen. So then there I was 3 days ago, feeling very like, ooh, I felt moved. I didn't know what I was feeling. I just felt like there was a lot of things happening inside of me that I didn't know what was happening, And this happens to me at other times, not only today. And maybe that happens normally when, let's say, this is a good example, when I used to work in an office. And by the end of the day, I was drained because it felt like it was too much. There were too many things happening around me, too much. And I was constantly kind of downloading information that had nothing to do with me and with, how I use my energy. And so then I went home and I was depleted as in I was just tired, and something inside of my head didn't feel good, and therefore my body felt like I want to do nothing. One thing that happened these days as well, after I felt this confused inside, is that I felt bad in my body. I looked at myself in the mirror and I thought many times that I was not looking good, that my body wasn't looking good, that there was something happening with my skin, that my face was not looking good, that my hair was. So I became so like uncomfortable within my body, within like the image I had of myself. Somehow it just felt bad. So one thing that I know that works for me in these occasions is to dance. So when I play music and I start moving and I just, sometimes I just sing and I start dancing, I just feel like I come back to myself. It feels like somehow that energy that was just all around floating in this space and not being used for me somehow comes back to me and goes back down to my body, and from there it goes back down to into my soul. You know what I mean? I hope you can follow. And again, I would really like to hear if you experience something like this as well. So leave it in the comments down below. I also think that I know I'm a highly sensitive person. So when there is a lot of things happening around me, I pick up on anything. I pick up on, you know, the emotions of the other people. I pick up if there is conflict between other people around me. If there is, you know, something that was triggered within another person, I just feel things, you know. And there is this thing that I feel like as if I am downloading information from another person. I start having like, you know, visions. It's like visions start showering me, and then I start seeing things. Like seeing things is as in I have thoughts that I have no control upon, and so I start having thoughts of things that I have no idea what is it that, why am I thinking of that? And I don't want to be thinking of that, you know. And at some point I get it that I am just channeling the information of other people. Of course, I also have this high sensitive towards the environment and to noises, and I am very sensitive to animals. So when you have a lot of people around you, when I have a lot of like people around me with whom like I can feel and sense the energy, plus if we were in nature, there were animals and plants, and I just felt it was too intense and it was too much. Not the plants, you know, but all of the impressions that I got, it was a bit much. So it was a bit overwhelming. And the moment when I was alone, you know, it's not that I can just say, oh, I'm just going to drop it. It just, that feeling stayed within me for I think until yesterday. And so one thing that happened yesterday is like I was still not recovered, but I had to work. I had some meetings, and the meetings were very intense, and I spent 5 hours with these meetings, and you know, like it was very also intense. So after the meeting, I came back to the hotel, and I can tell you, I look at myself in the mirror and I was crying because I felt so tired. I felt not tired, I feel like I was crying because I felt like I lost my soul. I'm gonna be a bit I feel a bit emotional because it was just last night. It was just maybe less than 24 hours ago. I felt like I didn't have my own soul. I felt so like, you know, like I wanted to scream and I wanted to say like, I don't want to be feeling this, you know. But I knew that that was going to pass. I knew it. And today, and last night, what I did in order to soften that, you know, was me time, 100%. I ordered sushi, and I ate in bed. I played a movie I found on the TV, what was playing, and I found a movie I really like, 13 going on 30. I think that's the movie, that's the title. And I had so much fun. I ordered my food and I went to sleep. I put the phone on airplane mode. I always sleep with the phone on airplane mode. Pulled the curtains and put earplugs and eye mask, and I slept until almost 9. And I can tell you, I was so recovered. I felt like, oof, better. Had a great breakfast, and I spent the whole afternoon lying down by the pool. And you know, and now I feel like, okay, I have all of this energy in order to come here and do things, but you know, it's hard. If we ENFPs, and especially those that are highly sensitive, if we don't take care of, you know, how we use our energy and our resources, we can really just make ourselves sick. And you know, we can even be raised in environments that do not support us having our me time. I was one. I come from a family that I had three sisters, yeah, and there was all the time like a noise around and things happening around, and all of us kids are extroverts, by the way. So it was a bit of a chaotic house where I just wanted to, you know, be alone and cover my head with a pillow sometimes, because of course there is also the other side of me that's also very extrovert and that I like people. But if I don't get that time, I cannot be an extrovert because I would just hate people. And that's something that is very, I guess, like very ENFP. So I call these episodes the dark night of my soul. But if I allow it to exist, it just happens, it comes and it goes. Yeah, so I want to hear your experience as well. Leave your comments down below and see you next time. Bye!